welcome back to my channel. It's Naturally Timmy, of course, and today I'm going to talk about my home buying process. I'm going to break them into parts. This is going to be a series. Some of you guys were interested when I mentioned that I wanted to do one. So this is going to be part one of the series. This is why I decided I wanted to move in the first place. If you guys know, I live in North Carolina, and I moved here about 4 years ago. I'm originally from the DC area, and I lived, I was born, grew up in all those things in the DMV and DC, Maryland, Virginia. And I basically wanted a change of scenery. So one week I decided I just wanted to move. Like 1 week I decided I wanted to move. The next week I moved to North Carolina. So 1 week I said, I need to get out of Maryland. Like I was living in Maryland at the time. And I was like, I need to get out of Maryland and I want to go to North Carolina. By the next week, I was in North Carolina. So with that whole process, my sister-in-law, who's already living in North Carolina, she found the place for me, and I wasn't really picky at that time. I just wanted to move. So I didn't really care how the apartment really looked. Like I've never had an apartment before. I just wanted the freedom of having my own space and all those things. So I didn't care how it looked. I just wanted to move and leave the area. So I got her to look at it. She said it was doable, and that's what I did. I moved into it. Now, as my blogging and things like that got bigger and bigger, I realized that that place wasn't really photo friendly. For lack of better terms, it wasn't photo friendly. Yeah, it was really outdated. It wasn't upgraded. There weren't any windows, so it was always dark and gloomy. In fact, the dark and gloominess, like there was so much more to that. Not only did the dark and gloominess made it nearly impossible to take photos in the house, but it also, kind of like kept me like unmotivated and depressed, and it would just be so hard to get out of bed, so hard to be motivated to do anything. So that was a big factor. The fact that there were not that many windows and it was dark and gloomy. Anytime I wanted to take pictures, I had to go out, so sometimes like a hassle when you want to take house pictures and you can't because, yeah. Also, you guys know I had a baby, at the tail end of 2019. And as she was growing and walking and things like that, it was really not conducive for her. Everything was really tight. It was a 2-bed, 2-bath, but everything was tight for a baby that wants to run or crawl everywhere. The place was cluttered. We didn't even have a room for her. We didn't have a nursery for her. The other room was an office, and it was like really full, so there was nowhere she could sleep in there. And so we made we also had a sunroom. We made the sunroom her nursery, but the problem with that was if we were to put her in the crib, we couldn't be in the living room because of course a sunroom is in the open area, so it's where the living room, the kitchen. So literally if she was sleeping in her crib, we had to like stay in the room or she was not going to sleep. And not only that, but we had to tiptoe around the house and things like that. The sunroom doesn't have a door to close or anything, so she could hear everything. So it wasn't really ideal to have her nursery there. So most of the time she co-slept with us. But the times where she slept during the day and we put her in her crib, we had to tiptoe everywhere. And it was just a real struggle. Like it was the biggest struggle. So that was another reason why we felt like we just had to get out of there. Like I was really over like not having, I guess, like the freedom to do the things that I needed to do. One, to be more consistent and motivated to do the blogging that I was called to do. And two, just like Genesis not having her own space. She didn't have her own room. She didn't have her own play area, and yeah, everything was dark, gloomy, outdated, everything. I was done. So basically how I felt in the beginning when I just wanted to move out of there, I really didn't put into consideration that, my content creation business will grow so rapidly that I want to, like, you guys know that I was doing natural hair all the time in the beginning. So I really didn't need a nice space for natural hair, but as my business grew, I wanted to kind of like expand to like more lifestyle photos and things like that. So that would entail like taking pictures in the house, reading a book, and it just wasn't ideal for where we live. So I didn't take that into consideration because I didn't know that, things were going to turn out the way they did. If I knew, I would have got an updated place. I would have got a nicer place. But, we thank God because that was my first apartment. The first time me living, with just me and my husband. So it was a learning experience. So while I don't regret it, it was long overdue that we moved out of there. We were in there probably like 2 years too long. So we lived there 4 years. I think that after 2 years, we should have just left. But for me, I just dread the moving process. We wanted to get a house in 2019, but things did not work out, which I will get more into further down the series. Things didn't work out in 2019 with home ownership. And so we had to try again in 2020, and here y'all. So that is my quick little rundown on why I had to get out of there, why I had to move in the first place. Like I said, it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a sunroom. And yeah, it was long overdue, and I'm so happy with where we are now. So yeah, so that is where I'm going to stop. That is part 1 of the home buying process. Please let me know if you have any particular questions that you want me to answer in the further series, or if you want me to answer now, just go ahead and comment in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.